Welcome to Attican Plays Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. All right, hi, this is Attican, and welcome to Series 4, Episode 24 of Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. Now, in the last episode, we started working on fixing this area down here in Nashville, our coal and power production. So we went through the process of laying out what we need, kind of little 4 flat modules, I think of them, with the supporting stuff, two kindergartens, a school, and playgrounds for each set of 4. And we've got them set so they can get to bus stations. And once all this is built, we've got our construction crews working on that. And once we get all that built, we'll set up bus lines to get these new flats downtown for shopping, and then get bus lines set up to get out here to our coal mine, our 2 coal ore processing plants, and our power plants. So that's all great. And we're kind of keeping with that kind of modular approach. Like I said, 4 flats, a couple of kindergartens, school, 1 or 2 playgrounds. So that's all great. But I think if I was going to give this episode one of those catchy titles or semi-catchy titles, I would call this one "Artis Gilmore Has Torn His Achilles," and that's a shame because Artis is a great guy and a good basketball player. Those of you who aren't into the sport, he was a really great athlete. But let's look at Artis. First of all, he looks really happy, doesn't he? I mean, he just looks like a big happy person there, sporting his nice green fro. He's a happy soul. But the truth is, he is really broken. And let me show you what I mean. Now, I'm not talking about just the wood posts. And what prompted all this was Modak said that there was a documented bug where the wood post wouldn't recognize planted trees. And really, all this was planted. I went out with the brush when I first started setting this up and just brushed it good with trees. And these are all planted trees, and that if that defect is there, then of course we have a problem. So I went in and as Modak said, the way you fix it is you blow up your existing wood cutting post and put in new ones. Well, I went in and did that. So I've got new ones being constructed. We've got construction management up here, so we've got those people working on that. And by the way, one thing I did notice was these construction offices don't go out, and they just don't seem to automatically go out and find new construction. You have to tell them to do that. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they would have found it eventually, but I did not see it. I had to go in and manually tell these people to go work on these different things, the little connecting road going to the post, wood cutting post, and the wood cutting post itself. So I hope I'm wrong, because I, as you know, I'm not a micromanager, so I don't want to have to do that. If I have to do that all the time, that's going to be a real turnoff for me. But anyway, I did that, got them all going, I hope. And so as I was looking at that, nighttime came up, and I just played just a little bit, and nighttime had come up, and I was just kind of taking a peek at Artis Gilmore, and I went through a couple of the flats and checking their happiness, and look at that, they're maxed out. I mean, these people are just delighted to be there. But then I got down to this one right here, and it wasn't the happiness. It was actually, what was happening was it was on fire. All right, so we had a fire at this flat, and so I'm thinking, well, that's okay. I mean, the whole purpose of Artis Gilmore is that big old fire station right there. Well, sure enough, I look at it, and it said 0 firefighters. So I go in here, there's nobody working in this fire station. 0. I mean, there are only 2 right now, but there was 0. And we got 3 fire trucks, and I mean, the whole purpose of this little town is to fight fires over in the crops area. So what gives? Well, I looked at this flat right here, and it had like 48 workers in it. And look at this, it's 48 uneducated workers. I don't know where they came from. I don't know if I hit the wrong button when I put people in there. If you'll remember, we built this flat specifically for the purpose of staffing that fire station. So I don't know if I hit the the dollar immigrants and got all in, just luck of the draw, got all uneducated people or what. But the other thing it points out is Artist Gilmore wasn't built with enough schools and kindergartens. I mean, there's a school, there's a kindergarten. It's not enough. You need learning quickly. You need a lot of both to really keep things going. So we have had a lot of uneducated people in Artist Gilmore, and it just so happened, a little bit of luck of the draw, a whole bunch of them ended up in the flat where we needed people to go work at the fire station. So but you'll notice this thing didn't burn down. So how in the world did we get it fixed? Well, I went up here to my favorite spot, a well-designed area where people have, they have ample school and reasonable kindergartens, may even need more, and they have the ability to go to university. So I went to my favorite flats, this one and this one. See all those educated people? And just grab people. I grabbed, actually from this first one, I grabbed all university grads from here because I knew they would be all cool, and moved them down here and filled this thing up. That's why there's now 75 people in here and 27 university grads. And then sure enough, fortunately, some of those went to work at the fire station, and they got just in time to put out this fire. And I apologize, I really wish I had captured it on video for you because it was kind of amazing to watch. During the fire, there were over 40 injured people that had to have an ambulance and go to the hospital, and like 7 or 8 deaths. So a whole bunch of people died, and a whole bunch of people were injured and kind of flooded our hospital. Whoops, that's our shopping center. Flooded our hospital, but at the hospital stood the test and took care of them pretty well. So here we've got the people now. Their happiness is down for a bit. But look at the one right next to it. Perfect happiness, but only 14 people live there. Look at the happiness. So you can't just look at the happiness and see what's going on. You got to look at the whole thing. And I really should have been looking at this. 21 workers can't work because of low education level. So I'm thinking, I don't remember now, maybe some of you will, but I think I must have done a lot of bringing in of the third world immigrants here. I don't know that for a fact, but I think I did. And if I did, that was a really bad mistake given the fact that I didn't build much infrastructure here for school. So look at what's going on. Look at this. We got 300 people who want to go to school, and we don't have enough teachers to get them in school. And we wouldn't have, even if we had 10, I don't think we could handle that whole thing, or 15, whatever it is. So we got to fix Artist Gilmore. That's what we need to do in this episode. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is get some more university grads down here. And I think the way I want to do that is to, again, bring them from up here. So here's 184. Everybody in this flat, every worker in this flat is a university grad. So folks, you need to help out our republic and go down here. So we're going to relocate university grads to this flat. A bunch of them. Okay. So now we've got a nice educated flat, although there's still uneducated people there. So well, they can work here, they can work in the hospital, they can work here in the school. So this school should be much more useful. Now, what we really need, though, honestly, more schools and more kindergartens. Let's see, are we getting the kindergarten messages? The 8 workers without a job, 12 can't go. Well, shoot. Oh, well, one of the problems with the jobs, of course, we killed 30 times 4, 120 jobs when we killed all the wood cutting posts. So when those come back, we'll have more jobs for people. So that'll be good. And see, they're still happy. They're happy not to work, apparently. but we need to school 20 workers kindergarten. So even when it's up and running, it's not going to be running very well if we don't build more kindergartens. So we're going to put in, try to figure out a way to give them some more skills. So I'd like to think of it with kind of the only way I can think of it with the modular approach. So see that one. Now let's just see what happens. First of all, let's see what happens if we put in another football field near that one, if we can. Even if we have to steal some wood, it would be fine. And then, pardon me, then let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'd like to put in at least one kindergarten and a school for these people. Oh, and I probably should mention the other option, of course, is to get the bulldozer out and just delete Artis Gilmore. Move all the people somewhere else and get rid of it. But let's not do that. Let's keep him. He's a good guy. So let's keep Artis Gilmore, but let's see if we can't fix Artis Gilmore. So at least patch him up a little bit. So the school is, what happens if we put a school right here? Who can go to that school? Good. All 4 of these flats could go to that school. Let's give them another kindergarten. And all 4 could go to that kindergarten. Good. So this one will be better. Now, I kind of want to think of it as these 4 and then these 2. We don't have to, I mean, I've said this before, you don't have to think of them that way, but I just kind of almost need to. Let's throw in one more school, one more kindergarten. And this is kind of another example of how I don't really like having to think of piecemealing this stuff and patching stuff. I really would prefer to have a way to think about the city blocks so that in the design, so that you're not just slapping stuff together like this to fix things, that you do it right at the beginning. Saves you a lot of hassle. I mean, I guess in some ways there are people who could say, well, this is kind of fun, you're fixing a problem. And I would kind of say, I feel like I'm working. I don't feel like I'm playing a game. I feel like I'm working because I've messed up and I'm fixing something. Not to mention the fact that I'm not a big fan of messing up. I just don't enjoy messing up. I do it a lot, but I certainly don't enjoy it. Okay, let's give them a road. Let the construction folks get on that. We'll build a path to see if we can get to this guy. See who's going to be able to walk to him. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all these flats down here can get to that school. And now we need to give them another kindergarten. And we got to put that power back too. Oh, man. I'm not messing with those railroad tracks. Let's see if this works. It gets all of them but this one, and he's right next to that one, so yeah. All right, that'll work. At least that'll improve things. So if we could get that going and we move some more educated people down here to make sure we have people to work in the schools, then we can get these people educated so that there'll be an actual workforce down here when our wood cutting posts come up. And then we might even start seeing a decent little board industry. Not that boards have a whole big effect on your economy, but just the same, if you're going to build something, it'd be nice to see it actually work and produce for you. All right, so we've got some educated people here to work in the fire station, so we should be okay on the fires. If we get more and more of these people, the uneducated ones, going to school, the better. Not to mention the fact that if we think of this as our goals, Artis Gilmore was killing us on the education. So what's this saying? I mean, pretty obvious. One is you got to have enough schools, enough kindergarten. I really, for now, until we come up with something better, I really like the approach we're taking. You know, here's a built-out version, and here's a soon-to-be built-out version, where we think of this as 4 flats with school and kindergarten and playground. And as we've said, and it may well be school, 2 kindergartens, 1 or 2 playgrounds. We'll see. Yeah, see, look at this. Visitors waiting. So that, maybe we can do a quick build right here and see and do a little test. Because I mentioned before, it seems to me like they'll go to the closest one, they'll just stand there and wait, even though there might be one, you know, in reasonable distance that they could go to, that they could walk to, and play, you know, have a game of football. So let's see what we can do. I hate using that nice big space right there near downtown, but that's okay. I'm gonna build this thing in a hurry. And see if we can get staff there and see if we can get anybody to go there to play football. Yeah, we did. Okay, good. We got some people there. But see, look at all these people waiting. But it is getting less. Well, this has people waiting too. My word, these people are starved for football. Good grief. All right, we need to do, honestly, I think we need to do, I don't know, does anybody know of any studies anybody's done? Has Rever done any good studies on this yet? I don't think I think he's more into the construction and optimizing some of that stuff. Do you know? Does anybody know of any testing anybody's done for the way your city blocks need to be, and what kind of ratios do you need for these support buildings? The downtown, and what I'm seeing is the shopping center can support lots and lots and lots of people. I mean, it's hard to put too many people in there to go shopping. The hospital can support a lot of people. If you look at this, we have the capacity to treat 86 people. There are only 8 people in there. And I think I'm kind of hinting at some game balancing issues. The pub is underwhelmed constantly. In fact, many of the pubs, I'll set the staffing way down. And the cinema, same thing. It can support 111 people, and there's rarely more than 20 or 30 in there, even in a fairly populated area like this. So, but these kindergartens, I mean, it doesn't seem like you can have enough of them. I mean, it doesn't matter how many you build, you need one more. And the playgrounds are starting to look the same way. Although now, how in the world now we've gone to 0? Oh, there's no staff. We got people waiting here. We got staff over here. See what I mean? We've got staff in both, but they're, well, it's kind of inconsistent. Well, you just need a lot of them. That's just what it comes down to. You need a lot. So again, does anybody have any ratios? And if I have to, man, I'll go out and try to figure it out. And we can kind of keep working on this and keep adding. But man, oh man, it just seems like, how many kindergartens do you need? Pedroig has said he builds 4 of the 75 size flats, the small ones, and for each 4 he puts in a kindergarten. So I'm doing flats that are 150 or more than twice as big, and I've only got 1 kindergarten. If I put 2 in there, would that be right? That's why I went off that to kind of say do the thing here. Here we've got 2 for each set of 4, so we'll see if that works better. And I don't want to make the game into just formulas, you build this vanilla plan, you keep doing it over and over. But at the same time, for somebody who's not a very good player like me, I need some guidance. I can't just wing it and make it and have it just accidentally come out right, because it doesn't come out right. I mean, I thought Artist Gilmore was a fine design. It seemed like a perfectly good little thing, but it sucks. Obviously, it sucks. Needs a lot of work. And even though these people are ecstatic to live there, maybe they're happy because they're not working. I don't know. So we'll let our construction crews keep working on Artist Gilmore and see if we can get that fixed. And we'll see if this fix with the wood cutting post worked. And the other thing I'm going to do here, I could reassign these. These are all the buses and trucks that I had running to do pickup of the wood cutting posts, and I could reassign them to a depot and then bring them back later. But no thanks. We're just going to have a mass execution here and sell these things off, and then when we get the when we get the wood cutting posts back up, then we'll set all this architecture up. And I may have, I don't want that. I don't want to sell that. And I may not have wanted to sell that. The aggregate, that's construction. I might have sold off something there I didn't mean to, but that's okay. Well, let's just see. They got 12. They got 12. 12. Okay, I didn't kill any of the construction vehicles at least. May have killed let's see, related vehicles. Those are both construction. Okay, this one is going to the sawmill. I probably killed one that was going to the sawmill. So now that I've deleted vehicles, let's build another one. And here's 3 I parked over here. I was trying to be a good guy, but they're going to go away too. It's going to be a while before the construction finishes. Okay, but I do need a bus. Let's get that guy. And we need a bus to run from here to here to get staff in the sawmill. Not that the sawmill even matters at this point. I really could have even done without that for the time being, because there's no point in having people come here to work when they don't have any wood. So you can see we don't even have people either. We got Artist Gilmore has a torn Achilles, so hopefully he'll recover. hopefully we'll be able to get the education level up a little bit, and our construction crews will work effectively. They are working. I don't know if it's effectively, but here, this guy's going somewhere. Yeah, there you go. He's going out here to work on the wood cutting post. And notice there are no workers there, but him doing the work actually knocks down the workday. So these workdays are not just people. They show people, but it's a combination of machines and people doing the work. So, all right, we're getting there. So there's Artist Gilmore. We hopefully have made Artist Gilmore, if not ready to rumble, at least improved. See, look at this. College. And the other thing is, remember I said, one more thing and then I'll quit. I said that we would go through the process of moving these people manually down to this residence hall in down here near our medical university so that we could get university degrees. Well, again, that's a micromanagement thing. I'm not that good a player. I don't play that way. My whole thing is figure out a strategy that works, do it correctly, and you don't have to. The game takes care of itself. And I don't know if that'll work for this game or not. We're going to find out. But so I would say don't use the residence halls in the manual moving, but do use this where you have transportation set up, either walking or buses or trains, so that you can get people here. Because see, we have constant flow of people going here to be educated. We have lots of highly, look at this, 187 out of 187, 176 out of 176. We have lots of educated people up here. And we have no issues with getting people to work in our hospitals or in our schools. Our school systems actually work because we have enough teachers, and we get process people through there more quickly. Now the kindergartens, that might be another question, but our schools work, and they don't get overloaded because they process people through there quickly because you have enough teachers, and then they move on and they go to university, and that cycle repeats, and you're on an upward spiral of education. Whereas in Artist Gilmore, we were on a downward spiral of education. We didn't have enough educated people to start with. We didn't have enough schools, and then the schools can't keep up. So each generation is a generation of uneducated people. Remember, they only last 4 years, so you cycle through this pretty quickly. I don't remember what year we built Artist Gilmore, but it's certainly been around a little while. And that being said, we've gotten in this spiral where we have more and more uneducated people, and the town will eventually die without education. So I guess we could call this one the education episode, and making sure the moral of the story is make sure that you set up adequate education to start with, and you seed your city, your new city, with enough educated people to get the education process working. And you also, I think one of the things I'm going to try to do from here on out is always have something like this, where there is an opportunity to go all the way through university for everybody, so that you can get close to 100% of university grads, so that you have this situation here with 187 university grads living here, rather than the situation down in Artist Gilmore where I have 57 uneducated people and no university grads, and no hope of as far as from this flat's perspective, no hope of being able to man a school to get these 57 people educated. So there we go. This episode's about fixing Artist Gilmore. Hopefully he'll recover from his Achilles tendon injury. Hopefully he'll recover from his Achilles tendon injury, and then we'll see what else we need to get into on the next one.
I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it'll help you become a better player, and I hope you'll join us for our next Workers and Resources Soviet Republic video. Thank you.